Safi and Marco just shut on the movies. And guess what? We're doing another TV series show. Latest season of Masterchef. I guess just say Masterchef because it sure isn't Masterchef Junior. Although there are two contestants on there who were Masterchef Junior contestants years ago. And even one from the very first season. We've been through this before, but I don't know the name of the episode and I don't know the number because we've had a 2-week break.
There were 3 audition episodes. Stand closer to the camera, Safi.
Okay.
Because the audience doesn't hear you in any video we do. There were 3 auditions, and then there was that shitty first episode where they acted shitty, and then let's see, there was another one where they were shitty, where they had to cook the dish that sent them home. So I think, and then there was the one outside. So that's like what, 6?
Yeah.
So
Well,
7.
it's been a 2-week break, so.
Is it I have no idea.
Oh well. I could look that up right before we're done.
No, let's just focus on what's important, which is the show good? Well,
Yeah,
I would
it was
say
pretty good.
it was fine. It was like exactly what I would expect, where there wasn't anything special in terms of anything like that different from any other MasterChef episode. Like, they're making this big deal, like usual, where they say, like, it's season 10. And in this case, it's MasterChef back to win. And so that means that, that it's like, oh, wow, we have to take this more seriously because it's something different. And really, it's just a way for them to advertise. So, like, to say, like, oh, look, this is a different thing. This is a cooler thing than that. So I would say that overall, this was a pretty fun episode. It was just kind of lame. It was just kind of like, okay. Like, they even tried to do some more stupid editing things where, you know, the whole episode, you kind of thought that certain characters, like Shane, you thought that people like him maybe would have a hard time cooking vegan food, but what ended up happening was that this one guy who Safi really likes, Fred, he's the one who ended up having trouble.
Well, he just tried to make way too complicated a dish, and he did what everybody talks about in every single clothing design, in art, in story writing. You don't edit enough.
But they didn't show us. See, they edited. The show edited a lot.
Oh, they did. I didn't see any. I didn't even realize there was going to be anything wrong with it.
I know. Well, that's what I was going to say. Is that, like, they made it look like he didn't do anything wrong, and then all of a sudden it's like, Fred, get up here, idiot. And it's like, oh, where did this come from? Like, I thought that, you know, maybe Dara would go up there because she, you know, she did the Asian thing, which if you guys
I'm so sick of it.
If you guys don't know what that means, basically anytime an Asian person for the most part is on a MasterChef show, all they do is cook Asian food and they get rewarded for it constantly.
Although Fred is Asian too, and he did not do that.
Yeah, like as I said, mostly. And there's certain exceptions, and actually one of the best dishes was Bowen's. And I thought that his dish looked like the best one. Like, I would have eaten that dish out of all the dishes there. He made this thing where it was like these fake scallops over risotto, and I thought that sounded really good. Because I hate vegan food. Safi does too. But I thought that sounded good. So,
I just don't think any of these dishes or things that you buy with plants sticking out of them, you can see the plants sticking out. To me, just looking at them, I couldn't even eat it because they look awful. But some of the stuff that people vegan make, that it's not bad at all. It's just that some of the stuff with the plants are sticking out, and it looks like meat, but it's fake.
It looks like Stay Out of the Basement, Goosebumps.
Yeah, it does. It looks like that Stay Out of the Basement.
Remember that scene where he's like, "Here, guys, I made you a special recipe for breakfast." And then he pulls up this bowl, and it's just got this green gruel.
Ugh.
Or, Safi, remember the Monster Mash movie? One of the best movies, that animated Monster Mash movie where the people are at home with the shitty family, and they feed everyone that green spinach goo on their plate, and vegan food is really unappetizing because it's unnatural, ironically, and because, like, for the most part, for all these dishes, it even showed how unnatural it is, because what were they all doing? They're all just emulating meat food, and they're all just emulating, like, oh no, I can't use eggs like normal people do, so I have to use something else. Maybe I should pick my nose and use the snot in my nose to bind things, because snot is vegan.
Okay, Marco.
Well, that's the type of thing these people would do. And so, like, it just shows, like, veganism is a bunch of BS. And this episode pretty much exposed that. Because these people couldn't even make, like, a single dish without, like, emulating a meat food. Or even, like, a dairy thing. Like, this one biatch, she just made some homemade cheese. And it's like, this vegan cheese. Like, how unnatural, how unhealthy is that? Like, some random chemicals that you threw in a bowl together, like, ew. I want to eat real cheese. Thank you, shitty Masterchef cooks. Because most of these dishes were pretty bad looking. From what we saw, there were a lot of dishes where it seemed like people were just happy that they picked these certain ingredients, and in fact, other people even got criticized because they didn't pick more expensive, exotic fruits and vegetables.
Which is ridiculous. And I think the girl who won what they get is, if they win this challenge, they pick 3 top people. This is always as it has been. And then they pick 3 lowest people. And the one who won got the best. She's she Lebanese?
I don't know.
I don't know. She's Muslim, but I think she's Lebanese.
They call her the Queen of Spices.
And they eat tons of vegetables. They eat meat too, but they eat a lot of vegetables. I mean, that's just a huge part of their. So that's what she did. But she did a little take on it from the garden that was outside. And anyway, Joe kept saying they didn't think that she was. I don't know, like. Is this really?
Oh, wait a second. No, you're confusing. See, you screwed it up because you're confusing her issue with that other girl, the black girl. There was this one girl, and she made a curry that she likes to make for her daughter every week. And
because
so
she's vegetarian. Her daughter is vegetarian. She said that.
Which, vegetarian is better than vegan, but it's still pretty bad.
Oh.
But she made this curry, and because she chose these regular vegetables, the judges had a fit because, like, oh no, you mean you didn't pick the forbidden fruit of Xandar?
Yeah, I mean,
you didn't pick the Chinese monkey fruit?
I think that threw her off, frankly.
I know, she was like, what the fuck? Like, why are these judges so, like upset, and it just should, the reason why they're upset is because their egos are bruised because
Yeah,
it's like,
these people,
oh,
some of them are coming up with things were about 1,000 times better than they ever could.
you didn't pick the one of the expensive items that we acquired for you by getting it from some smuggler somewhere in the desert with a blindfold on. Like, ooh.
Well, they still criticize this Muslim woman because they were acting like what she made wasn't going to be good enough.
Yeah,
she even said she fluffed them off and act like she didn't care. She said, all these people are having a fit who are used to eating a lot of meat because they're just thinking, well, they had better come up with these exotic things and in order to win or to show that they're special. She goes, you don't have to do that. You just need to eat some basic. In fact, she was doing exactly what they wanted Fred to do. They said he didn't edit his food enough. In other words, it wasn't simple enough. It was too complicated and got messed up. And so here she makes an uncomplicated dish, but she did what they asked. She used vegetables from the garden. And they still, are acting like she did something wrong. Well, she won the effing challenge.
Well, let's just dial it down because we haven't even really described it yet of what truly happened. She made a falafel, which I gotta be honest, I didn't think it looked very good.
Oh, I don't like falafel anyway.
It was a falafel taco or something, and
it had 3 layers.
Maybe it was good, but it kind of made me have a little bit of a stomach ache.
Well, it looked good when they put it together. She laid it out. So they have to make 3 identical dishes. We've been through this before.
Which we already have stated that we hate that thing.
They seem to be getting used to the idea, though. And they had like 3, she had 3 bands of things. One was the falafel and these brown balls, which it didn't look appetizing to me. In the middle was like a really beautiful radish slice very thinly with some.
Okay,
really
so what
good
happened
stuff.
was she made a falafel taco.
Yeah.
As I was saying, and
a pita bread.
And the judges. Safi, are you done?
Yeah.
And so then the judges, aka Joe, he came up and you know that he's gonna say something retarded because, instead of Joe Bastianich, it should be fucking Joe Retardich, because every time he comes up to a chef in the kitchen, he's gonna say or do something stupid, like when he went up to the little girl in Masterchef Junior season 3, and he put one of his used socks over one of her ingredients.
God. Oh my God.
Well, he said, falafels, they're really hard to make. They're really top quality.
Not for somebody who grew up eating it all the time.
You think you can make a falafel right? Like, it's like, that's like asking an Italian person if they can make spaghetti or not. Like, it's like the most stupidest question you could ask.
I can't believe you did that to her.
Unless she's like a, like a fake kind of person, which she isn't.
Not at all.
So, he said that like multiple times. Then he's like, okay, whatever you say, is in like, oh yeah, you're just full of shit.
She just ignored him, which I was glad.
So then she got her dish judged, and it was hilarious because you thought, oh, Joe's going to have to say that it was good. Oh. But then what happened was, instead of him saying it was good, he chose to say, is it good enough? Like, it's good, but is it good enough for... I just don't know if a falafel is good enough for Masterchef back to win. And it's like, oh wow, good job at moving the goalpost. Like, first the contestants have to worry about if their food is good, and then they have to worry about if they have 3 identical dishes. But I guess they also have to worry about is it good enough? Like, I don't know what is good enough. Like some fucking weird fake beef tartare, but with beets. Oh, God. Ugh.
Yeah, who was it that combined the beets with the avocado?
That was the one you don't like. You don't like that guy.
Oh, that guy. So, that did sound interesting.
You thought it was good.
Well, it sounded interesting. It actually is. I thought his food looked really good. He was one of the 3 finalists.
Yeah.
And so was the Chinese guy who made these scallops that were not scallops. They were pretend scallops. And it was him and the weird guy with the...
And his looked the best, the Chinese guys.
Yeah, I guess.
I would have eaten his out of all of them.
And her.
But then actually she ended up winning. But it was funny because when they went back to deliberate on who's going to win, what does Joe say? Is the falafel really good enough? And it's like he just couldn't get off of it. Like, it's like, what does he have, some vendetta against her or something? Because she criticized him or something? Like, what's up with that?
He just doesn't let him bother her. That's what he can't stand.
So then we have the bottom 3. Now, the black girl, it was unfortunate with her because she made a dish that she makes every week.
And her daughter's vegetarian.
Somehow.
So, I mean, she's not ignorant of the food.
Somehow it wasn't good.
Yeah, I don't exactly know what happened.
She ran out of time, I guess. And
well, I know, but what was wrong with it?
It was sloppy. It looked like crap. It was, I don't know, it was incomplete.
Oh, okay.
And who else? And that was the sad thing, though, is that you thought that Shane was going to be in one of those 2 groups. And I really wanted to see them try Shane's dish. I wanted to see them try Dara's dish.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Mrs. I'm going to cook something that I make all the time at home. And I'm going to make Peking duck. Oh, no, it's not Peking duck because it's vegan. So I'm making fucking Peking leaves. Peking stems.
I don't know what she did.
Peking roots.
She never looks comfortable.
Peking dirt.
Every time you've seen her, she looks stressed out.
Yeah, they showed a really close-up of her face, and she was like letting out like this huge puff of air, like she's like one of those fish in the Finding Nemo. Remember that fat fish, the puffer fish?
They're poisonous.
That's what she looked like in that one shot. And so she doesn't look like she's having a good time.
No, she doesn't. And she's very supportive and nice to the other people. I do notice that. She's a lot more mature than she was as a kid, which I'm glad to see.
Well, I just wish she would step it up because there was supposed to be another Masterchef Junior who could have gotten in the competition.
Yeah.
And if they had picked him over her, would it have been better? Question mark. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
It's really hard to say.
They should have gotten back Ryan Kate. So anyway, Safi, that's a running joke with you, Safi. The bottom 3, we already talked about, and then who else was there?
We talked about the girl who had to go home.
Oh yeah, Samantha.
She was making potatoes. I think she made too many.
No, she made a stupid dish. It was like a very simplistic dish, and it was like, what is this? Like, it's a stuffed potato pancake with a sour cream. And you looked at her plate, and you thought, how in the hell was that done in an hour? Like, how did that take an hour? Like, that seems like that should take 30 minutes or less. And it was too simple, and it was boring, and it looked, to be honest, it looked like a pancake with mold all over it.
Well, to me it looked like mashed potatoes where she fried a little bit of it, but they weren't. I've made potato pancakes. They really are a pancake. There's nothing mushy, and it was mushy inside of it.
I wanted her to go home because I thought...
I don't think she belongs there.
I thought, she's fine, she's good.
And she's not a bad person. We're not saying that. She seems like a very genuinely nice person, but
But
I don't
based
think
off
she
that
belongs there.
dish, off of that dish,
Yeah.
get out of here.
Yeah.
And then who was the
I can
last
think of a
one?
lot of other people.
Who was the last one who got in the bottom? Oh yeah, Fred.
Yeah.
And that was the surprise one where the editors purposefully chose not to show him screwing up the whole challenge. So then at the end it's like, what?
I was really shocked. And he seemed to know that he was going to be going up there.
Yeah, that was
Which
the
I was
best
surprised
moment.
about that too.
That was the best moment of the episode where he's like, oh, fuck, it's me. And then he goes up there.
No,
that was the
but they didn't
funniest
say
moment.
it wasn't when they. He didn't do that when they said his name. He knew it when they talked about something about the sauce.
They said the sauce was a letdown.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, fuck, it's me.
Yeah. They
And
didn't even say his name yet.
that was the best part. So I give this, what did we get? The problem is with the shows, I can't remember what I gave last episode.
No, I give it a B minus. I don't like Joe. What he says to the people. I think it's very I thought he's very disrespectful to the Muslim girl.
I don't like his shitty attitude.
Well,
because
he's a food snob.
He's just showing off.
Yeah, he's showing off his. He's
overcompensating.
He's pretentious. I don't like the pretentiousness at all.
Yeah,
and I don't see why he had to be that way, that Muslim girl. Because I'm not saying he's anti-Muslim or racist or anything like that. I'm just saying it's the food I'm talking about. He's pretentious. Like Marco said, he didn't just say it once. He said it about 10 times.
Yeah, like you could take a shot every time he said it and you'd be drunk.
Yeah, you could. And it's just, that was so disrespectful. And I don't know what was he doing when he did that? Is he being pretentious? Or is he doing something for the show?
I don't know.
Throwing red herrings in all over the place or something. A red herring, is like a fake away. So you think it's, she's not going to get anything, but she really does. So, I don't know. I don't like that. And he made a comment, some kind of comment to several people about what they were doing or what they didn't do. The thing about, don't you think you should have picked more exotic vegetables from the garden?
No, that was Aaron.
Well, to me, but why? Why?
Don't you think you should have picked the star fruit from the Venus planet?
I don't know what they're talking about, but why?
Didn't you think that you should have picked the blue mangoes from Mars?
That's the thing. This is this food that you go to a restaurant or you see it on the menu and can't they just have regular food?
Well, it's like, what's the assignment? Is the assignment to cook vegan food, or is the assignment to cook a dish with exotic ingredients? What's the dish? What's the assignment? Because you pick one or the other. You can't say it like, you have to cook a vegan dish, but you also have to cook a vegan dish with exotic spices, exotic ingredients.
Yeah, they didn't say that.
Yeah.
And, I can, what are they saying when they do that? Are they saying only people who are vegan are wealthy, and so they can afford to buy all this, especially right now with the prices of groceries have risen through what they say. I can't even remember, I just read it today, sky high, in 20 years or something, it's the highest it's been. And do you think that vegans have any more money than anybody else if they looked at simple ingredients
What
they
vegans
can
do,
afford and find?
Safi, do you know what vegans do?
Yeah, I do. I've seen
They go to
on YouTube.
They go to Kroger, they get a frozen dinner, and then they eat that, and then they have a big dessert, and that's their meal.
Well, we have seen that.
And
he may sound like he's being a bad boy, but no, he's right. Where he's making fun of people who are vegan. But I know somebody who's a van lifer. She doesn't have a lot of money to spend, and she manages to make vegan food every day.
They go to
And-
Starbucks and they get their soy lattes.
She doesn't do that. And, she might do that. Well, whatever.
They get their oat milk at the store. Oh, wait. Yeah,
No,
it's oat
they
milk.
I
It's
don't
oat
know.
milk.
Don't ask me. I don't even want to know. I tell you, I'm so turned off by going to the store, and they've got this huge meat section, but it's not meat. It's stuff that
Safi.
looks like meat with plants sticking
I would
out.
rate this
Ew.
episode, before we teeter off into nothingness,
Yeah.
I'd give this episode a B, just because I don't know what I gave last week, and it was definitely better than last
2
week's
weeks ago.
episode. But it was last episode, so it's last week's episode.
Oh,
Safi.
I see.
But
Okay.
Safi, which would you rather do? Would you rather eat chicken liver every day, all
No.
day, for the rest of your life,
No.
or would you rather go vegan for the
No.
rest of your life?
I could probably eat vegetables, but I get a taste for fish, and I get a taste for chicken, and I don't care that much about beef. Sometimes in certain things I do, maybe like brisket or something, and I like pork.
Safi, you literally
But
just got off of
really-
eating spaghetti.
Ugh,
You love spaghetti.
no, I don't.
Yeah, you
Anyway,
do.
I don't even like my own spaghetti. But anyway. I
Liar.
just don't like the judges when they make pretentious comments. I really resent it. Because those people and regular people are not going to make the shishy foo-foo crap and pay tons of money for it. I mean, you have to like the food. It just isn't a matter of eating shishy foo-foo food. It's a matter of it tasting good and looking good. And they need to get off of it. And like Marco said, the ask was to make us a dish that was kind of like would be a meat dish and turn it into something vegan, right? They
Yeah.
didn't say use exotic fruits and spices and vegetables. They just said to just do it. That's it. So that's what they did. So get off of the bullshit.
And Samantha went home, which wasn't surprising.
No, she just wasn't right. I didn't think either.
So, Safi,
So everybody, if you like this video, please give it a like. And please become one of our subscribers. We welcome all new subscribers because we like to hear comments. We like to hear what people think about what was on. We also like to hear your other comments about different things, like the other series we talk about, or the movies we've seen, or maybe you have a suggestion for a
Safi,
movie to see.
this is Masterchef.
So anyway, well, it's also our channel, which we do book reviews, we do movies,
Safi, this is a
And we
Masterchef
do
video.
TV shows.
It's a Masterchef
So
video.
goodbye, everybody.
Bye.